Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're coming to the end. This has been a quick month. Dr. Allen here. Few things for this week I wanted to go over and just kind of rehash a few things from the prior week. Excuse me. The very first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to throw out kudos to everyone. Um, I'm actually probably talking from 2 weeks ago. But when you all did the flip grids, some of you had emailed me about the public option not being there. You're 100% correct. And I think I emailed about this, and I may have even mentioned it last week, but just in case, when I was grading a few more that came in. Um, the public option feature is actually not listed anymore, as many of you noted, and I should have remembered that. That was shame on me because I actually had used it this summer, but it's kind of still there because you share the code, the email, the everything like that. All of you figured it out. Still, I was pretty lenient. Everyone did the flip grid, so I was fine with that, however you did it. So if you submitted a flip grid, you should have your 10 out of 10. But good catch on all of your all's parts, and apologies on mine. They changed that in the spring. I don't know if that had to do with the pandemic. Some of these things have actually changed rules, or I don't know if they've been inundated with too many people using it or what, for free anyway. So but good job solving the flip grid problems. They were all fantastic, by the way. So that's the first thing. Second thing, one or two people had noted this, and again, I may have said something at the beginning, and if I didn't, forgive me. We kind of did this switch over to Brightspace so early, or so late actually in the summer. There's a few things on some of the directions. I think one of them might have been on the presentations from last week. I'm looking like it's in the sky. Um, I make a mention of Sakai on the instructions. If you see any mention of Sakai, it's supposed to be Brightspace. And thank you for pointing that out. Please email me if you see any of that, because I definitely need to update it for the fall, especially. You all have been awesome dealing with all these changes over to Brightspace. And actually, it seems like everyone's kind of getting used to it. I'm getting a little more used to it too. Hopefully, it'll help you in the fall when you're using Brightspace in your classes, if you are. I think there's an option for Sakai also for at least the fall. Um, Trying to think anything else. That's the major thing. I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to tell you all, and if I don't remember it, I'm sure I will email it. Let me double check on announcements real quick just to make sure if there's anything I didn't remember. I'll talk about that. Grading. Oh, grading. I should have everything with the videos and all done by Tuesday. I try to stay up to date. This is ending the week. I try to have the prior week done by Tuesday. I think I even was able to do that with the Disney. If you see anything from week 1 or week 2 that's not graded, just fire me an email. Excuse me. And also, this is a big one. And I probably, just as a reminder, if you haven't done any blogs or discussion posts or have forgotten to do one or anything like that, that is fine. Just go to discussion and just post it or email it to me, and I will be sure to post the grade. Again, you're all doing me a huge favor by doing Brightspace, and we're all kind of getting used to it. So I am definitely flexible on many things related to that. Work's all been fantastic on both classes. So, with all that being said, excuse me, I'm not going to stop even with the cough. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you what's going on for this week. We're kind of coming to the end. There are things you all, this is a lot of stuff I know in a short amount of time to create and things like that. You all have been awesome about it. I've tried to pull some things out because I just didn't think it would be fair to do in a month, basically. But I still want to kind of note a few things, kind of like I did with planbook.com, I think, with the last video. But let's just go over this week before I forget. This week, it's actually kind of a wrap-up type week. If you look, it goes to the August the 2nd. I already sent out an email today, and I'll put it on the announcement board. If you need a little more time after that, after the 2nd, which I'm going to pull up, which should still be, I think that's the Monday. Yeah, that's the Monday. If you need until, let's just go ahead and go to next month so I can show you. If you need until that Wednesday, honestly, I put on the email Wednesday. I can get by with Thursday. I need the weekend to get your grades in. If you need time to finish up a few things, that's fine. Just fire me an email, or you don't even have to do that. Just make sure you get it to me before the 5th of August, just so I can get it graded, whatever the assignment is. Now, With that being said, so it says the 2nd, I'll take things until the 5th, even if you have to go back and do it. This week's kind of a hodgepodge type week. Um, it's really just wrapping up some things. A lot of it's just going to be typing and reviewing for your part. The discussion board, there's 2 discussions this week. There's a 4 and a 5, so we could have a 5 and I could get the points all in there for you. Um, but with that being said, there's 2, they're just straightforward discussion posts. Then there's also 2 blogs. I think on the content page, one of the blogs is misspelled and it says bog, but forgive me on that. I got to go back and edit it. I just caught it. Um, I also have on there classroom management tech. That is something I sometimes spend a little time with in the fall. I don't want you all to not have the opportunity to at least hear about it. Some of them have actually kind of limited our access. The big one, especially if you're going to do placements in Berkeley County, is Schoology. They use Schoology. It's a pretty good system. If you've been in the field, you probably already had the opportunity to do it. The problem with Schoology now in our class, we used to be able to create free accounts and kind of at least fiddle with it. Schoology, last I checked in the spring, they were no longer doing free accounts. I still have one because I beat it before. If you want to try to sign in, that's fine. The only thing I wanted to tell you is Schoology is kind of like it's kind of like a Sakai. It's a learning management system. It could be also kind of like Google Classroom, where you just organize things, you submit things. You've probably seen it in action if you've been in the field. The reason I'm bringing this up, if you're going to do your student teaching in Berkeley County, or if you're going to be in 443 and you're happening to be doing a placement in Berkeley County, talk to your cooperating teacher about their training program. Berkeley County is really nice. They'll put you in, they have a self-paced training program. I've actually have it or done it just to kind of get familiar with Schoology. It does more than anything I can do in this class. Even when we had the free accounts, we just kind of posted a thing or two just to kind of get used to it and just kind of see what it looked like. They have a training, it's free. It's something you might want to just take a few minutes to get used to it. Even if you don't do that, ask your cooperating teacher, wherever you are, to maybe kind of fiddle with it. I don't think it's anything complex. It's sort of like dealing with Sakai and Brightspace, but that's part of a classroom management thing. I think they keep all things as discipline, grades, assignments, work, things like that. So Schoology is something you definitely will be familiar with. The other one, I will be the first to admit, I taught middle school and a little bit of high school. I never used it, and I have a feeling all of our elementary people are going to be familiar with it. And actually, I would let you do it for your fun review if you wanted. But, whoops, I put Class Dojo. I think most people are familiar with it. You might want to check that out just because it's another thing where you can monitor behavior and things like that. As you can see, there's the videos. So I just wanted to note those things. And you're welcome to do reviews on them if you are somehow able to have access to Schoology or Class Dojo. Our thing this week is actually a review, a fun tech review, but if you think this is fun, you're welcome to do it. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was, I'll come back to the fun review, the lesson plan brainstorming. That, do not overthink that. I'm going to email out the template again, just so you have it in your email, but the template is right there. The directions are here, and I just want to make sure it says unit plan checklist. For our class, what you have to do, let me click on that. There should be, oh, where did it go? Oh. And of course, it's probably not there, but that's no biggie. I thought I just pulled it up the other day. Let's look. Oh, that's okay. I have it right here. Whoops, not right there. I'll update that today to make sure that it is showing. What you're going to do, you're going to have a template. And basically, I want you to think of 3 lessons. You don't have to write the lessons out. This sample that I'm showing you is actually a little large. But that's fine. You can type as little, I don't say as little. You got to have a little bit of detail, but a lot of it's plug and play. So for example, you're going to do lesson 1. You're going to put the state standards that you're going to use for the lesson in there. And you can cut and paste that in there. That's fine. You can get them from West Virginia Department of Education, Maryland Department of Education, Virginia, wherever. I'll send out I'll put a little link so you have access to that. But you're just going to put those in there for the first lesson. Just going to give a quick summary of what you're going to do. Yes, I wanted some sort of tech. I don't care what tech you use. It would be nice if you use 3 different techs for the 3 different summaries or brainstormings that you're doing. But as you can see here, someone used BrainPop, and they used Google Form, Google Slides, and they just kind of gave me a summary of how they would incorporate it. And again, they kind of expand on the technology and how they're going to use it, maybe with assessment and things like that. They think of 21st century skills. They just listed them. That is totally fine. How you're going to assess it? Are you going to use the technology? Or are you going to use a tech? That's fine. Just explain it. Boom. That's it. That's all I want. You're going to do a second one. You do it for a second lesson. Again, use a different type of tech if you could. Now, I'm not saying if you're using multiple techs, like if you use Google Classroom or Schoology might be in every one of them. That's fine. But maybe in the first one, you're going to use Kahoot. In the second one, you're going to use iCivics. That's something I use. Maybe on another one, you're going to use Padlet. By the way, the Padlets were fantastic, and the Wakelets. But the Padlets, I really like. Some of you were doing map exercises and things. I digress. And again, you're just going to summarize this. This template is posted. For some reason, I'm not opening it right now. I'm not going to stop the filming of this. I will make sure it is up right after this and email it. I know it is on here because I actually posted it earlier. Let me try something real quick. Am I in 500? I might have put it in one of the sections and not the other, which shame on me if I did that. Oh, there it is. Or it might not be opening. Yeah, the attachment's not showing, and I have no clue why that is happening. That could be a Brightspace issue. I will email that out today. A couple of you have actually already emailed me about it, and I think I sent it out. So I'll make sure that it is fully on there, though. That is what you have to do. Lesson plan summary, simple as that. Next, don't forget you have a Google or Apple certification to complete. I did send out the 2 links just in case, and if you need them again, they should be on the announcement page, and they're on here. But there you go. And there's the 2. I don't care which one you do. Don't care what you score. I just want you to give it a shot. Apple's free, Google $10. If you don't get your Google results back, that is fine. Just take a screenshot or send me the email that you did it. It's just something for your resume. It helps with the editing and the skills and things you'll need with EdTPA. I think it's something really big that you do take out of this class, and it'll make you familiar. I know I like the Apple. I know in elementary, it used to be the trend that everyone used Apple. Some of the schools have kind of made the switch to Google because of Chromebooks and all, but either one works. I'm an Apple person, honestly, so I would probably lean that way, but either one works. A lot of people I noticed in the class last semester were using Google because of Google Classroom. No problems. So don't forget to do that. And finally, let's make sure that the Google Classroom, there's your discussions, blogs. The last thing is the fun tech, which is right up here. There it is. And I'm just going to read verbatim. I'm not going to get too thing. But it's kind of like an expanded blog, in all honesty. But I just want you to look at, as you can see, I'll send out a list too. But here's a list of some things here. I just want you to pick something fun that you haven't looked at or tried in the class as far as a tech. It can be anything in your content area. You can explore on your own. I don't care. And after reading, exploring the technology, you just need to review it. Just give it 1 to 4 stars. You need to do 2. You can do some sort of that. That list that I'm giving is not an end all be all. And I think if you can see, it's just the way that it posted, but it's, you know, there's some science, there's some PE, there's some art. All these things work. You can do something. If you did Padlet last week and you want to try Wakelet, that's fine. You can do that. That, again, awesome. Some of the things on there, there's a lot of Google Maps. We didn't even get into Google Maps. If you want to check out Google Maps, I know some of you are pretty good into using that. I know art, physical education, you all have a lot of technology that we don't even get into in the class. If you want to review some of that, please do. This is kind of your opportunity to look specifically in your field. I know in biology, there's a lot of things now where you can go in and look and dissect things online. Go for it. So just pick 2 things. It doesn't have to be anything super crazy. Just give me 1 to 4 stars, solid review, post it. One thing that I just saw, and I threw it up here, is Bookit. That was another tech that I was shown, and it's kind of like a Kahoot, Gimkit, anything like that. And it uses a lot of emojis. I have not fiddled around with it too much. I saw it demonstrated once. I thought it was kind of neat, and I could see some people maybe thinking about using it. So I went ahead and put Bookit up here. And if you want to try it out, go for it. Not a requirement. Another one that I always like, and some of you might be familiar with, a lot of classrooms do it for social studies, is iCivics. It started, Sandra Day O'Connor had a lot to do with it. But it's free. It has a lot of social studies games, vote. My students always like the Run for the President. I used to do it. I never did lessons. There are lesson plans related to it, but I always did things where, you know, if we had a little bit of free time, it was a good thing. I did, you know, as long as volume was down. It was a good study hall type thing, things like that. So, and again, you can do homework with it, which I think I did a couple of times. So, and again, they've even jazzed this up since I've been in the classroom with remote learning activities. So it's just something else you can check out. Just wanted to make you aware of it. But again, with the review, pick something in your content area you think you can do. If you're familiar with something that I haven't seen or done, please put it on there, because I like to share these things. But if you look, there are some other listings here, like there's some science, there's some art, there's some physical education, math, anything like that. Also, I'll send out a list. Let me write this down. There's 2 things that I want to make sure I'm going to do today, so they are posted. I have formulated a pretty detailed list of some things that I've seen with tech, and I'm going to send that out, and I'll post it on our site today. I've been kind of working on it. List of tech, and make sure summary is up. I'm writing these down so I don't forget. I'm going to do it immediately after I film this video. The checklist and the summary should be there, so go for it. If you can't find it, I will directly email it, and I'm going to repost it to make sure that it's showing. It should have popped up when I clicked. That's really it. We are really coming down to the final days. If you are an Ed 500, if you're in 380, ignore this part, but I might come back in for a second. If you're in 500, don't forget you do have the research paper requirement. I extended the date. That applies also to the 5th. If you need a little more time doing it, try to do it in APA and submit. I will try my best to get grading that's been submitted all done by Tuesday, so everyone knows where they are. I'll email when I have everything for week 3, which is today, the 25th, completed and up, just to make sure if I haven't missed anything. Also, I think one person emailed me about maybe some issues with Brightspace login. Check with IT, but if that happens, just email me, because Brightspace is still in flux and they might have some issues with logins and such. It's very possible. So just contact me. Again, flexibility is key. I think that's it. Oh, by the way, there was one more tech. I knew I'd forget something. I see the list. Classcraft is another classroom management thing. I saw a demo on it, and my school was kind of interested in it. It was for more middle school. We didn't do it because it was expensive, but I'll show it to you real quick. Maybe you'll go to a school that has it. It's basically like a World of Warcraft type thing. It's kind of class dojo, but like, I guess more middle schooly. You might want to check that out. So with that being said, just to make sure we're on the same page, this week you have to do discussion 1. Discussion 1. Discussion 4, log 4. Discussion 5, log 5. Fun tech review, just a paragraph, 1 to 4 scars, 2 texts. You can pick anything you want that you haven't already done something for in this class. Or if we skip, you know what, if you did Kahoot and you want to try Gimkit, that's fine. Go for it. Give a review. I'll send that an expanded list. I know there's a list that's there, but I'll send an expanded one. You got to do the lesson plan brainstorming. The template is posted on Brightspace. I'm going to refresh it because for some reason it's not showing as I film this. I will put that sample up too in case you want to look at it. If you need help finding any standards, just fire me an email. I'll email out the list too. That's another thing that I will write down just so you know. I have a feeling at this point you do know, but I'll send the West Virginia ones just because we're in West Virginia. Don't forget your Apple and Google certification. And if you're an Ed 500, don't forget your research paper. But that's pretty much it. We're going to start wrapping stuff up. It's been a fast month, crazy fast month. But don't forget, you have a little extra time with all of this stuff. Don't go crazy. We're starting today is Sunday. Tomorrow, obviously, is Monday. And then you head to the following Monday on the posting. But you still have until next Thursday. So just pace yourself. And if it gets to be too much or crazy, just contact me. We'll work something out. With that being said, I think that is it. I will make it my goal right after we get done. Make sure the summary is posted. I'll send out that listing of tech and we'll kind of go from there. Oh, and I'll send out the standards. So with all that being said, I hope everyone's hanging in there, having a good summer. And thanks for your patience with everything with Brightspace and me. And that should do it. I'm going to stop the share and tell you have a good week. Talk to you later. Bye.